Hello and welcome back to the table. You are with Finding Atoria for another weekly episode of a TTRPG podcast where a group of friends gets together and discusses all things happening in the hobby and in the gaming world. We are left alone here, missing our Jess and missing our Bird. I do have Arcadia in the studio this evening.
Hey, guys.
Welcome in, Arcadia. We are going to... allow me to clear my throat, and have a discussion today that's kind of twofold, but wrapped in the idea of cons and the attendance of them. First of which is something that I thought was a really unique opportunity that you got recently. I think, last week?
Yeah, the 25th and 26th. Well, 25th through the 29th was the whole thing, but that weekend.
That weekend that just passed us
of
here.
June.
Check
Sorry.
local listings, right? But it was something that I didn't know that when we first talked about it, it targeted our audience directly, but I think it was such a unique opportunity, and there's so many tie-ins to what we do and insights into what we want to see being done that I kind of want to ask you about that experience that weekend just a little bit. So tell us where you traveled to, tell us what you took part in, and let me put you under the red hot light for a little bit after that and soak you for some questions.
All right, I'll agree, but turnabout's fair play later.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to the American Library Association conference in Chicago, Illinois. And they had that conference towards the end of the week and over the weekend, the 25th through the 29th of June this year.
And this is annual?
This is a long-standing annual conference, I think 150 years. And I don't know that they've been doing the conference for that long, but the association was celebrating that. So... It is very long-standing. It is a very large event. Took up a fair portion of one of the, if not the largest conference centers in Chicago, McCormick Place. And basically, it is all things library that you could think of. Yeah,
as a conference might be. So I'm with my immature mind and picturing like the 1982 conference with a room on shushing. And tell me what you see. Tell me what the layout of that, because I know your Comic-Con, your Gen Con, was it like that with your a big
yes
assembly hall sort of vendors space?
Yeah, so you have an exhibit hall, which is what I had a pass for.
Okay.
And then you also have conference rooms all over that are full of learning opportunities, speakers, sharing information about, new technology, new philosophy, new things for, either starting programs or different ways to manage your library, things like that. And it is. Oh, I don't know that I could. I'll go back to our butts to nuts, reference for Gen Con. I don't know if it's quite as butts to nuts as Gen Con, but it is definitely a very well populated, very crowded convention or conference, and it is laid out. The exhibit hall is laid out like any convention I've ever been to.
Okay,
booths. Down rows, numbers of rows, and
somebody's figured that formula out.
Yeah,
so yes.
and separated out by, what are you looking for?
Sure.
And for there, it might be by publishing groups.
Okay.
So like you have, say, the HarperCollins area or Disney.
Your big publisher.
Yeah,
spaces.
Kodansha was there for like manga and things like that. And so, yeah, and then you have other areas where it's not necessarily publisher, although I'm sure there's a connection, but like one that was like all about like STEM and NASA and things like that. And so it was, things that might go in your library in regards to that.
So really quick, before we get ahead on everything that was there, what got you there? I know you fairly well. I don't know you as a librarian, although I think there's a good fit sometimes. I know that there's books, so I'm not letting you off the hook easy with that answer. Why'd you go, and what were you specifically, if you were specifically looking for anything at that event?
Sure. So one of the names I didn't drop, but that is there, is Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, really?
And this year they had an entire booth set up to share Magic the Gathering. And
Trying to get that into library
teaching
spaces.
people how to play and things like that. And their area where they happen to be is an entire section of the exhibit hall that is laid out for games to be used in libraries.
There you go.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about on this show. So here's your tie-in. Why am I there? Why are we talking about it? Game-based learning.
Exactly.
Everybody knows it's the thing. There are a lot of avenues under that overarching topic. And TTRPGs is one of them, and it is it definitely represented there at the conference. And it gave me a really good opportunity to meet and connect with people who are of a similar mind as to wanting to promote and the benefits of having TTRPG availability in our communities, and libraries being one of the best sources for free access
And
to
obvious,
good
right?
tools.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in most conventions I go to, you're going to deal with, some keynote, if not keynote, some highlight speakers. Were there personalities? Were there personal missions? Were there people that jumped out to you? I'm tipping this question because you almost ran up and were like, this human, we need to speak to this human. So
Yes.
I know that there were a few, but who really stuck out with you is doing something in the space that I think you said we want to be doing, we would like to be doing what this
Right.
person's doing.
Yes.
So give them a plug. Talk about what inspired you with the people that you met while you were there.
Absolutely. So, the person that you've hinted at, you've led me up to. I mean, I will say there was lots of people there doing lots of good work for libraries and for game-based learning in libraries. I happened to stumble across a person who every word out of their mouth felt like something I would say.
Okay.
This is an amazing individual by the name of Lex Lauer. I love this. Creative education strategist and program designer.
Just somebody you want to talk to.
Right. And Lex was manning a booth that had dice out and, some other little things to hand out. And we started talking, and she is doing something that's called Common Quest Creative. And her entire purpose is to make accessible TTRPGs for those who there may be barriers to playing the game.
Okay.
Or playing games. And she is a librarian, and she's leveraging that, connection there to, within, and it's not just libraries. She's working with community spaces, a lot about similar to, we haven't talked a ton about it here on the show, but our Tables of Atoria ideas and projects
Right.
is that getting TTRPGs into community spaces so that people who want to play the game but don't have access to the money for the tools, just don't have access to a store to buy the tools, don't have access, whatever it might
People
be.
that can willingly run a game for the
DMs
tools.
to run the games,
So
yeah.
deploying those assets to places that they are not, but they're needed. Yeah.
Correct. And so there's a part of her work that does that, but then she takes it this entire step further because she is, a person who is working on becoming a game-based therapist.
Okay.
So she can run as a GM therapy sessions, which we have talked about how we would bow down to those individuals because of the challenges that would be and the benefits that would come from that.
Applied GMing there.
Right.
Mm.
But she is also designing modifications for the games so that younger players can play, so that, maybe kids with disabilities can play. She is making the game accessible to anyone and everyone so that they can receive the benefits of
Trying
that.
to bespoke that format in which the game's interacted with so that it's still accessible to groups that it is not traditionally.
And some really basic, easy ideas is, things like, especially if it's at a library, this isn't my personal stash of game playing tools at home.
Right.
So you may have kids who have never played before, don't know if they really want to play. And I don't know how much, I don't know that we've talked about it on here, but one of the biggest obstacles I think to new players is character creation.
Sure.
It's why in the starter guides you get pre-made characters.
Right.
And so the idea of having, pre-made characters, laminated sheets so that they're reusable and you can mark things off on them with a dry erase marker and, very simple, tiny modifications that, that's not for anyone with like a disability or anything like that. That's just for someone who doesn't know if they want to play the game or doesn't have the money to spend the money on it or doesn't.
Smart allocation of resources.
Yeah, and then it's a
more
reusable
accessible
format.
So if somebody wants to erase something and the page rips, like, oh my God, it always did.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. So those are very, very cool interactions. What when we started talking about these great ideas and these great people a few episodes ago, my curmudgeon ass came through the door and was like, yeah, but why can't they all get together about like some convention or library or something? What did you see that is a collective effort? Where are you seeing some national resonance in these little pocket initiatives like that, the one person that you described and the work that they're doing? Are we seeing that larger scale? Are we seeing what she's doing taking off on grander, more organized missions?
Sure. So I do have one project I'd really like to shout out for that. But before I do, to recognize that she was one booth in a row of booths.
Right. This was one interaction. Exactly. This was not somebody who took over the entire event. This was one good conversation you had with a human.
Right. And we just happened to have just almost identical viewpoints on what we would love to see happen in the TTRPG community. But, there's an entire row of people who are working and with libraries and community centers and other community spaces to recognize that games, imagination, creativity, role playing is beneficial. They're coming out with games specific to it, etc.
Really quick, and I know that you paused this. I'm going to pause this further. Could you give a contact shout out to your person?
Yeah.
How do people get in touch? How do people know more?
So check out commonquestcreative.com and loudlibrarianlex@gmail.com.
Fantastic.
If you'd like to know more and reach out to Lex.
We'll put it in the show notes, and I think that we'll try to see if maybe she's got some time to talk.
Yes, I would love to get her on the show so she can really dig down and share more. But if you'd like to support her efforts or find out more about what she's doing and where she's doing it, definitely check out her website. It's a really good one and gives a lot of information about what she's doing.
Thank you. I will not derail you again. You go right ahead and answer the question that I had posed and made you answer a long time ago.
Not a problem. The project I spoke about, like I said, this was Lex was a booth in a line of booths for games and game-based learning. But there was one that also just really caught my eye, and it is the National Games and Libraries Project.
Okay.
And again, just can't go back to enough how wonderful it is that we are learning the benefits of gaming for people of all ages.
Right.
And that there's enough recognition of that now that this is it's a nationally funded project to research and identify how game-based learning and games are helping in the communities. And it is also, some of the deliverables of this project are not just to gather data, which that's a core and very important piece of it that we've talked about previously.
We've discussed previously that we're at the how do we apply what we know to be true now and the metrics that we need. So this sounds exactly like they're addressing this.
Yeah. So they are, they're doing research, and they are also developing based on research, based on feedback, based on studies they're doing in libraries. You have actually the state of Washington and the state of Wisconsin both actively running research and in the game-based learning sphere for this project. And they are going to come up with digital toolkits to offer to libraries to help them implement, these bringing games into the library for learning opportunities in all of the beneficial ways that we know about.
Because there's funding going to programs in those libraries that may be able to be used in better ways.
Right.
I mean, I know the pinch is on, especially in that area for funding, but if you're looking at what works, and it sounds like they're willing to, probably worth kicking a few dollars back that way.
Yeah, and the real benefit of this is that it's on a national scale. And
Right.
so, you've got 2 states that are starting the project. More states can, I'm sure, fold in a bigger network. And what you get out of it then is a national network of knowledge and tools and resources to spread out to libraries to bring game-based learning into the library.
And you hyper-activate best practice sharing.
Right,
You
exactly.
get to just replicate, triplicate, and fold over for every new state that comes online, for every new library system that you're getting data from. It's very impressive.
And they have a whole, on their website, it gives them an entire list of conventions they're attending. You talk about the learning.
Sure.
They're just hitting convention after convention after convention, sharing their message, sharing their information.
Oh, I bet.
And gathering information in return.
I imagine. That sounds like a fantastic opportunity. Final thoughts on this? Now, I'll do the interview BS of would you go back to the Library Convention of 2027? Is it something that you found worthy time to spend there? And do you think that there was more that you didn't get to? Or was it something that you felt like you've experienced and that you would pass up?
There was so much more I didn't get to, and I would definitely do this again. And I think I would go with better preparation.
Okay.
I would really like to, trying to think of the right word. I apologize. I would really like to connect with the people who are doing this work, who are getting the information about this work, doing the research, and tie that into our Tables of Atoria project.
Absolutely.
I want to, network and connect with people like Lex and say, okay, you have the same mission and goals we have, and how do we support each other to do that? And that's what it's all about. It's all about making those connections, finding those people with the same drive, the same purpose, and in the end, building our community, and making our community more available to more people to see the benefits of it.
And we talked about being that nexus, being, that voice, the like to be the megaphone for people that are doing those things in the community. But I think that's what you do. And you see when we talk to a certain individual or a certain group, and then another one later, and then those two get connected, and then a lot of the opportunities that we've had to cross-pollinate with other businesses, podcasts, gaming tables,
Right.
Has been fantastic. Maybe we'll get a little chance to talk about that after a break. Any final thoughts on the library convention?
Yeah. I guess I would just say, in some ways, I feel in the modern era, the library is maybe not as popular as it once was. We have so much access digitally.
It's not that place anymore.
Yeah, and I would encourage everyone to remember that at the library, you can gain access to things that are real world, that are
Tactile.
Yeah, that are tangible.
Yep.
And you can either go on your own and do your own thing, or you can find a community.
You can
there.
and people are willing to talk with you and discuss with you what you are interested about. It's still kind of that hallowed place. I always think about Anakin walking into the chamber of whatever with the elderly Jedi lady who, is the keeper of the legends and the lore, and it's just that kind of place where somebody will walk up and be like, "Hey, what are you thinking about? What are you interested in reading?" And so I agree with you. That's a good point.
And just recognize that the library isn't all about books.
It's not.
There's so much more there. Explore it, enjoy it. Support your local library.
I was waiting for it. I almost saw you with the turtleneck. And
can't not do it.
we made some crackers. Okay. All right. We will take a break. We'll be back. I'll do a con for a con with you.
Yes, I get to put you in the hot seat next.
I want to discuss what I'm excited about, which I usually enjoy doing, but we'll do it right after this break. Come back for some more Finding Atoria. Yeah, I'm so excited. This episode of Finding Atoria is brought to you by Wordleaf Media. The Finding Atoria podcast is looking for guests for our upcoming episodes. Are you or someone you know passionate about the TTRPG community and have a story to share? If so, contact us on our socials or reach out at wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria. And now back to your program.
This is your first day, and the world's already ending. Welcome to Leviathan Rising, the new tabletop RPG from Dr. Christina Stiso and Oddfish Games. You're a rookie agent in a shadowy global agency tasked with investigating the impossible, mad science, alien incursions, and creatures straight out of Godzilla, Them, and the Core. 3 case files, 1 choice, and consequences that spiral into chaos. This narrative-forward, rules-medium RPG throws ordinary people into extraordinary disasters, where survival isn't guaranteed, and victory is never clean. Leviathan Rising. Welcome to Leviathan. What could possibly go wrong? Don't miss your opportunity to play this exciting new game at Gen Con. Look for Welcome to Leviathan in your Gen Con events registry and sign up to play this brand new role-playing game before it's too late.
Hey guys, welcome back to the table after our break. We are talking conventions.
Conventionally.
Yes. So Malcolm just got to put me under the spotlight to discuss a convention I had attended, and instead with him we get to grill him on looking forward to Gen Con 2026.
See, I didn't even do it the right way, so they can't sue me. Breaking news. Yes. Gen Con. Very excited. You wanted to grill me, or can I just go ham on this?
Well, I think you might just go ham, so I'm going to let you take the lead here.
I want to make an announcement that Arcadia and myself will be at Gen Con this year. However, please don't look for us under our Wordleaf Media banner, nor our Finding Atoria flag. We have been lucky enough to get an invite to help man and assist at the Oddfish Games booth this year at Gen Con 2026.
I'm so excited for this.
Very, very cool of our friends at Oddfish Games and Epic Adventure Podcast to give us the opportunity to come and help them spread their amazing products, some new, some well-established, and some surprises here to come. At booth 720 this year, you can catch Arcadia and Malcolm from the Finding Atoria podcast, proudly donned in our Oddfish Game shirts and helping people find their wares on Friday, July 31st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then Saturday, August 1st, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Once again, very lovely booth location, almost exactly where they were last year. Booth 720, that is the Oddfish Games gaming booth. So that's what I'm looking forward to because we've got vendor passes.
Yeah.
And that means that we'll get a little bit of access early to meet and greet and talk and see and not to be butts nuts, so to speak, with everyone. And it's just a really cool opportunity to experience the convention from that side of a booth.
That's what I'm excited about.
All the opportunities to have conversations with people. And
yeah, I sort of feel like the number of people you can meet is just going to be
It's going to be staggering.
multiplied.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you would like to come over, once again, we're not pitching anything. We are not promoting anything.
I just want to point out, we are not financially affiliated with Oddfish Games or Epic Adventure Podcast in any way. We have gotten to know these wonderful people through the community and like to work with them.
Heartfelt disclaimer.
Sorry.
Yes, no, nobody's being compensated here at all. We highly encourage you to go out to oddfishgames.com and look at some of the products that they will be bringing. Some of their games, their amazing ideas for accentuating and bringing to life gameplay are out there, and maybe we'll talk about them a little bit more. I am also looking forward to taking a walk around some of the gaming rooms and seeing what new games are on offer. There's a lot of live play going on this year that I'd like to get to. There's a huge WotC's taken over the tower downtown. Have you
Yes,
seen this?
I
Yes.
know. I wanted to get in on that somehow, and I did not act fast enough.
Yeah, and I don't know that I want to follow the throngs. You know
Fair,
what I mean?
fair.
It sounds like an amazing concept. I love that they're throwing down on this thing.
So, can you explain a little bit about it?
I can't. It's
It's multiple levels.
It's multiple levels,
It's
and
been a little bit since I looked it up, but it's like 5 or 6 different levels of different experiences.
Yes, absolutely. And it's multi-sensory and it's super fun. And I don't know if it works sort of like a haunted house sort of thing or you just level up as you go through. I'm sure it's going to be incredible.
It is off-site for people who are going to Gen
off-site,
Con.
correct.
It's not right at the convention center.
And it's being well publicized. It's out there. I'm sure that you can find it. It's their tower of something or other. And forgive me, it's not what I came to talk about. But I wanted to acknowledge that it's going on for the simple fact that this is the bros getting back to Gen Con a little bit.
Sure,
You know what
sure.
I mean?
Well, I know like our main topic here was to highlight some new things coming this way from Oddfish.
I want to do a plug on something.
Yeah.
I don't know how much to say. And hopefully you just came back from the break, dear listener, after hearing a fantastic commercial segment for Leviathan Rising by Dr. Christina Stiso and Oddfish Games, which is being premiered at Gen Con.
So very cool. Okay, I'm going to have my geek out moment. I'm sorry, guys.
Give that a minute to marinate.
my amateur geek out moment. I know a game designer who is premiering their game at Gen Con, and I just think it's so flippin' cool.
So what I've heard on the rumor mill,
And Dr. Stiso is amazing.
Dr. Christina Stiso is amazing, and Oddfish Games has consistently put out some very amazing stuff from card systems to things. We will go down the list soon. But I want you to know that at the Hyatt, I believe Studio 61, Thursday, 4 to 7 p.m., that would be Thursday, July 30th, Leviathan Rising will be being played and premiered by Dr. Christina Stiso. That's sold out. Let me grab you another gate. I would encourage you to go there. I'm going to go to that anyway, and
we're going to go watch
outside. If I can get in to watch, I'm going to do that. But that event for the players for the tickets is sold out. So why don't you try Friday, July 31st at the Westin, and that is Cabinet 4, Friday, July 31st, 4 to 7 p.m. You can not get in.
I was going to say, you're such a dick.
It's sold out. You can't go to that one either. Luckily, they're very kind. They came out with a third date, so you do have a Saturday session. Luckily, same place, Westin Cabinet F, Saturday.
Cabinet 4.
Cabinet 4, sorry. Cabinet 4, both days, Friday, Saturday, 4 to 7 p.m. Friday is sold out. Saturday is sold out. So you...
Such an ass.
That's how hot this thing is.
It is. I am so excited.
So I plan on trying to weasel my way in through a door and just witness what's going down. But
I'm going to try begging Christina to run a game.
yeah, good luck. That's a busy human
Probably
being.
after Gen Con.
Right. But But we're going to be at the Oddfish Games booth 720, once again, Friday and Saturday. And my rumor that I heard that might be true, please reference the June 17th Epic Adventure podcast episode. But I believe maybe the SRD for Leviathan Rising might be available at the Oddfish Games booth, amongst all of their other amazing stuff. So I know that they have Adventure Sense, and we've talked about this before. It's one of the coolest things that we found at their booth when we first met these folks.
Yes. And I mean, they're still going to have their Radiance game engine and everything else out there. There's, I think, an expansion to one of their games.
This is another rumor I cannot confirm, but I heard perhaps an expansion or module written for the How to TTRPG with Your Cat.
Oh, yes.
So I believe that that is going to be something new that's available too. Once again, I'm telling Tales Out of School, we'll be there to help to help get it into your hands for your fair coin on Friday the 31st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, the 1st of August, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I'm looking forward to it so much. It's just very cool that we were kind of invited to hang out. So you had questions. I was promised to be grilled. Where's the white hot light?
I don't know. I think you just went through and answered everything. You didn't let me grill you. You were like, nope, I'm getting ahead of this. Preemptive attack. I'm just going in.
Always work in the principal's office. Yeah. So that's what I'm excited about. I would like you guys to go out to look at things like the Radiant system and its other companion systems for world building, for game playing. It's a fantastic tool for running absolutely any game system. Go and look at Adventure Sense. I can't even give you a number. At one point, I knew a number.
So many.
And every time I think about a number, all I think about are some of the crazy ass, amazing combinations that they've
Come
come up
see
with.
us and we'll help you sniff all of the different combinations.
It's booth 720. You're
very
gonna
cool.
You're gonna meet the most amazing people there, no matter what time you go. But if you want to see us, we'd love to say hi to you. If you mention the show and give us an address, we'll send you something after the convention. But we're not there for us. We're there because we've been so kindly invited by Oddfish Games to come and work at their booth for a little while. So I'll entertain any other questions that I didn't get out in front of.
Right? Oh my goodness. So we talked all about Oddfish, and I know we really wanted to get an opportunity to share what they're sharing. Other than that, what's exciting about Gen Con this year?
A lot's exciting about Gen Con this year. I think that we get to see a little bit of the return of VTM. I'm excited to see
I'm
what
so
they're
excited
doing.
about that.
They're putting a little push into this, a little live play. They've got a little gusto behind what they want to do. I hope they don't fumble it.
Yeah, I am really hoping for something exciting to come talk about afterwards in regards to VTM.
Absolutely. I am also looking to find what Pendragon has to
Yes.
offer, which is new. I'm just recent travels inspiration episode, please refer to, but I'm really getting into that game and that sort of setting and detail of that gameplay that I'm kind of looking to expand my library that way. And then there's been all of the other names that we've talked about that, I might be snatching books and dropping dollars, man.
Yeah, and I really want to. I really want to see what's new in games, in TTRPG games, and all of Gen Con is not TTRPG, obviously. But that's I want to see what's new, which is exciting to me about Leviathan Rising. Is that it's not a module, it's not a add-on, it's a new game.
So Steve Kellums at the Epic Adventure Podcast did that promotion, that commercial, and he's just got the voice for it.
Yeah.
Sets a really cool stage for a really neat game. That you're.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
but
don't you dare apologize.
You talk about his voice and what he shares, and I can share the little blurb from the Gen Con site so people can hear a little bit about what Leviathan Rising is about. And the reason I say that is triggered by talking about Steve is because I can hear Steve's voice.
You can tell
his radio voice.
It's a big compliment, but yeah, if you would, I'd love that.
Yeah, so get a sneak peek at Oddfish Games' forthcoming RPG, a narrative forward and rules medium. Captures the feeling of disaster in kaiju movies like Godzilla, Them, or The Core by pitting everyday humans against titanic, catastrophic forces beyond their ability to fight. Well, that sounds hard. You will take on the role of rookie agents at the Leviathan Agency, an international NGO created to research and contain unnatural phenomena. Your job is to investigate the hundreds of reports the agency receives to determine whether they warrant more attention. You will receive 3 case files and, as a group, choose which to investigate. The story will evolve from there based on your choices and roles. The tone of Leviathan games can run anywhere from serious and philosophical to wacky and heroic. It will be up to the players to decide where we go in this game.
I absolutely love that. That should be sold out.
Right?
That should be
yes.
3 days.
And I wish she could
sold
run
out.
more because
Right.
I think it's going to be amazing.
I think that it is too. You need to do this if you're listening. You need to make a plan to go by one of those events. Once again, I'm going to give them to you here. So you're at the Hyatt. You are at Studio 6-1 Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Once again, tickets are sold out. I can't help you. Arcadia can't help you. I'd get there and witness it if you can. Friday, Saturday, 4 to 7, same times. Now you're at the Westin. You're at Cabinet 4. And once again, 4 to 7 there. No tickets, all sold out. But once again, I don't know if there's going to be a door person that I can grease a palm or whatever. But I'd like to go in and see this because that setup's just fantastic.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've got the hundreds of case files. My GM, my storyteller brain is sitting there going,
Well, and I'll put in a little boost for Christina. We game with a lot of these people. We've started that, and everything I hear, Christina is just a phenomenal GM. So it'll be so fun to watch her run that game, especially since she created it.
Yeah, super fun individual, super intelligent and interesting game player and game runner in my short experience, and I'm excited to see what they've done there at Oddfish Games. Once again, oddfishgames.com for our friends over there, so that you can take a peek at what they may have at Gen Con, and then those special maybe announcements. Go to the Epic Adventure podcast and listen there, and they'll tell you more of what you can expect, but you can definitely expect Arcadia and Malcolm from the Finding Atoria podcast to be at the booth once again Friday, July 31st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, August 1st, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I'm kind of done with the radio schedule.
Yeah.
It's going to be partly sunny. What is what are you looking forward to? We always talk about the food trucks. Are you?
Oh, I know. You know what? I'm not as into the food trucks. There's always good stuff, but the lines are so long. It's sort of miserable. Sorry, butts to nuts.
I completely agree. And here's the thing: if it's gorgeous outside, the lines are miserable, and if it's miserable outside, then you don't want to be there anyway.
Right? Exactly.
Well, anyway, that's what I had. Any other questions for me regarding things that I'm excited about?
No, you managed to avoid it. It's just not fair. I shouldn't have let you talk right away.
Wow. Can hold up under questioning goes onto my character sheet. That was rigorous there.
All right, guys. Hey, we hope that you guys are heading to Gen Con. We hope you'll have an amazing time while you're there, exploring any and everything that you have an interest in. We will be doing the same on the times when we are not working the booth. If you want to come and say hi, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to build relationships within the community. So thank you for listening. We're so grateful you joined us at the table today. And here is to a great convention season.
Enjoying it. All right. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
This episode of Finding Atoria is brought to you by Wordleaf Media. Find us at wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria if you or anyone you know has stories or other good things to say about TTRPGs. Get a hold of us. You can find us on all the social medias.
This episode of Finding Atoria is brought to you by Wordleaf Media. Are you interested in sharing stories of your favorite TTRPG experiences? If so, reach out at www.wordleafmedia.com/contact us on our socials, or you can now leave a comment on your favorite Finding Atoria episode at our Wordleaf Media YouTube channel.